Time is an illusion. That is a phrase that is used very often in the manifestation community. And some things are just easier said than explained or understood. And time is actually one of the biggest factors that people struggle with in the manifestation community. There is a difference with performing in linear time, as we are attached to this human vessel, and thinking in linear time. Because time is not so much an illusion, time is actually your focus. And your focus is what determines your perception of things. Well, I'm going to try to explain this to the best of my ability, although I do think as you progress in your manifestation journey, eventually you are going to have your own individualized way of perceiving time. Time will then have a different meaning for you. But for the sake of this video, because our vessel, our human vessel, is attached to this 3D plane, we experience things with our senses. And on this third dimensional plane is where energy is slowed down just enough for us to experience the senses that come with the human body as well as linear time. And with that said, we experience individuality, contrast, duality. We feel that people show up for us in a shitty manner out of their sheer free will without our internal consent first, which is a lie. We think that circumstances and things that happen to us are out of our control. And with all this illusion, right, of separation, because it is an illusion of separation, there is no separation. That's why I keep doing that. We start to perceive time as linear, and we perform as human vessels in linear time. So because we start perceiving time from our logical mind, we start perceiving time as something that is either against us or something that we have to catch up to. Time is not an illusion. Time is your focus, and your focus is what creates your perception of things. That's why a lot of people say, think as a person that already has it, because if you think as a person who already has it, you're not focused on the time it's taking to get here. You're not even looking for it because you already have it internally, right? And so our perception is a result of that focus, and all of a sudden we start to see time differently. So for example, if there's two people who are on the treadmill for 15 minutes, one of them is going to be focusing on the time, bitching and complaining about how their joints hurt, how tired they are, they don't have the energy, they can't wait for the 15 minutes to be over, and they're just staring at the time. They're looking at that little timer second to second. It's going to seem eternal. Those 15 minutes are going to seem like the longest 15 minutes of their life, versus the person who's on the treadmill and they're in their zone. They're just enjoying their run. They know that that run is going to come to an end at some point, and those 15 minutes don't seem to drag as long. That is our perception. We are not separate from anything. You are the source of everything, and everything that you experience depends on your perception. Remember that time also doesn't have meaning, just like everything else in life. Things don't have meaning until you give a meaning. So if you've been doing something for years, oh my God, it's been years since I've been doing this and I've gotten nowhere, well then that's what you're calling into your life. That's the experience you're going to keep going through. So your focus directs your perception, and your perception determines your experience. Because your desire is going to come. It will. But it's up to you to determine your experience while it gets here. Are you going to continue living every single day looking for it? Or are you just going to decide it's already coming, or it's already here, however you like to speak to yourself, and focus on what is internally in here? On thinking as the person who already is experiencing said desire. I don't know how to think as if. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because when you plan that vacation, even if it's to a brand new place that you've never been to, you're already planning outfits and makeup, and you're looking for places to go eat. And you're already thinking, what would it be like to lay on this beach, to sleep in this hotel room, even though you haven't experienced it yet. You know the vacation is coming. You know it's planned in your head, and you're going to experience it. Your desire is no different.